Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It is Thursday, February 24th, 2022, and welcome to my Facebook Live. My name's Jennifer Cotton. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas, and that means I teach people how to make greeting cards, scrapbook pages, gift packaging, home decor pieces, and more with lots of cool tools. So thank you for being here. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 20 years now, and it is my full-time job. So watching this video helps my business, so thank you very much. Also, commenting on the video, sharing the video, clicking a like, any of those things help me. So thank you guys so much for that. As we were waiting for me to go live, lots of people were hopping on. By the way, I hope everybody's staying warm today. It is very cold here in Texas. I'm hoping this doesn't affect my streaming, but we will see. I'm also trying something different today with my technology, so hopefully we'll be all good. I'm going to try to move this camera down a little. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. But stay warm wherever you are if it's cold. So good morning to Catherine. She's up and at 'em already. Way to go, Catherine, getting up early. Jean, good morning, and thank you for sharing. Shannon and Pat and Rhonda, good morning. Those are all the ones I jotted down before we started. Susan, hello, good morning. Hey, Robin, good morning, sunshine. Mary, hey, in South Carolina, good to see you, Mary. Good morning to our other Rhonda and Joni. Happy Thursday to you. I think Pat was telling Catherine that that's amazing that she's up and at 'em. Good morning, Jackie and Cindy. Thank you for sharing. Good morning, Marcia. Yes, she says Texas freezing cold, icy roads. That's what we have here. We have continuous news coverage on all these terrible icy roads. So everybody be safe as well. Thanks for sharing, Pat. Hey, Liz. Mary Blue. It's 82 in South Carolina. Crazy. Good morning, Stella and Mary Ann. Jean, minus 14 in North Dakota, Western North Dakota. Woo! That's colder than here. What are we? I'm at 25 degrees right now in Midlothian. Hey, Alejandra. Good morning, Shannon. Good morning, Landa. And Jen, freezing in Arizona. Only 35 in Arizona? That's crazy, Jen. Is that normal for you guys? Marcia. All right, good morning, everybody. So, told you my name, told you what I do. Today, I'm going to make 3 cards using the Driving By stamp set. Ooh, ah. And these cards, you can have a chance to win them today by just commenting on this video live or on replay on Facebook or on YouTube. You can also share the video and then comment that you shared on either platform for a second entry or a single entry if that's what you comment. And also, of course, if you subscribe to my channels on both platforms, that helps me, as well as clicking like and thumbs up and all that stuff. So thank you, thank you. Coming up, I meant to say, I'm using lots of other stuff today as well. We're in the final days of celebration, and this is a free stamp set you can get with purchase, as well as this Special Moments, which I will be using for a couple of my greetings. And then I'm using a couple other stamp sets and lots of dies and stuff. And I hope you guys like the cards today. It was a fun challenge using the Driving By stamp set. Anyway, so you can have a chance to win those with their comments and stuff, all 3 of them. Okay, hey Teresa, yeah, oh, it keeps freezing. I don't see it freezing on my end. I'm watching on my iPad, so you might try closing your device completely, like the app, and then going back in. But that doesn't mean it's not freezing for other people as well. It's just on my iPad today, it seems to be okay so far. Hey Charlotte, good morning. Linda, good morning. Margie, hello. Hey Sherry. Trying to see Elaine. No school today, so you get to watch the live. That is true. Dana enjoying fluffy quilts. Dana, I saw that soup you were making yesterday and I wanted some. Dana's our resident chef in my group, in my team, and she posted on Facebook this soup she was making, and I was like, that looks like my kind of soup, Dana. But I know you can't deliver it because of this weather. No Facebook freezing, just the temps, Robin says. Jean says no freezing, and Rhonda says fine. So yeah, I have lots of trouble, so we always know it can be me, but definitely, even when I watch other people's lives, a lot of times I'll restart the app and that'll fix it, or switch to a different device. I'll go to my iPad or my computer or my phone. Okay, so upcoming events. I have actually, shockingly, decided what I'm using for my March classes. I do 4 classes every month that anyone can attend, and anywhere in the United States, because they are offered to go. And these are card class, stamp a stack, scrapbook, and sampler. And as you see here on this graphic, all of my events that I offer include a PDF tutorial. Everything's going to be cut, die cut, punched, embossed, that we possibly can, and ready for you to stamp and assemble with the PDF tutorial. But you will cut your designer paper if that's included. And then these 4 particular classes are offered in person, to go, and of course you can check out the supplies for me to stamp at your house. So this month I am offering that, and when I say this month, I mean March. On March 19th is in person. The to-go gets mailed on March 21st, or you can pick them up if you're local after March 19th. Card class using the Hello Ladybug bundle. Super cute. So we're going to make 4 cards for $15, free with a $20 order. And they're using the Hello Ladybug bundle. Super cute. Scrapbook, by the way, the link is ready, and it will be emailed out at 3 o'clock today. So, you can go ahead and register. I'm writing myself a note, sorry. You can go ahead and register for these classes now for March. Hey, Valley Chick, good morning. Scrapbook class, 3 12x12 pages, $15, free with a $20 order. I actually have most of this month's classes here. I think I have all of them here. Let me grab these tubs real quick, and I can show you what we did this month. Because it's icy here today, so nobody's coming to get their tubs. So I have them all. Excuse me, sorry for the pause. But see, there's actually 4 there. These are the tubs for the projects for those who don't want to or cannot attend in person, but they want to stamp at their house with my supplies. Anyway, so what class was I talking about? Card class. Let me get this one. This month, which is too late to sign up for these, for card class, they made, I'm digging in these tubs now, I'm going to have to fix them later, these 4 cards. So 1, 2, I know the envelopes make it shiny, 3, 4. So that's an example of card class, but we'll be using different stamps, of course, this coming month. All the supplies they need to stamp and everything, those is in this box. Ink pads, blends, dyes, etc. Okay, then scrapbook is here, and everybody, not to brag, but everybody seemed to really like the Easter pages we made this month. So they are, I might be able to do both. There's page 2. Again, sorry for the shininess. I don't know what I've done here. Here's page 1. We used Easter Friends. Oops. Super cute. And then we made, this is 3 12x12 pages, $15, free with a $20 order. We made page 1 of a spring page. So there's page 1. And then page 2 is going to look like this next month, plus 2 more pages using, let me find my notes, Here Together bundle. That is the new, where is it? This stuff here. I think this will make a great page, 2 pages, of course. just for like an uplifting page. We've got the black and white paper, we've got the dies, and we've got here together. And it'll be 2 pages, of course. So that's scrapbook class for March. Both of those register by, let me see if I wrote it down properly. It's basically 2 days before, so that's March 17th. And then you can, again, take it in person to go or check out the supplies. And then sampler. So let me put this stuff down. I'm making even a bigger mess than I already had over here. This is sampler for this month, for March. Super, in my opinion, super cute rainbow sampler. Love it. But next month, we are going to use for our sampler class, I am very excited, Friends of the Forest. It's an adorable stamp set in the mini catalog. And we're going to make a spring sampler with it. It's got all these cute little creatures and trees. I picked out what designer paper I'm using and ribbon and jewels. It's going to be cute. So that class is $28. It includes $20 in merchandise. And don't forget, we cut, die cut, punch. As Shirley and Landa, we cut, die cut, punch all these little pieces for you. You just stamp and assemble with the PDF tutorial. Oh no, I saw a mad face. So that's Stamp-A-Stack, and you can also join the Stamp-A-Stack Club for the exact same price. And you, after 6 months of being in club, you'll get $25 in your choice of free merchandise from me. This month, a lot of people got, for their $25, they bumped it up to $50 and got a free celebration item. So that is your choice. You can go over. You can go right at $25 and pay nothing. It's totally free. And you can cancel at any time. You can cancel before 6 months is up. Hey, Shirley, thank you for sharing. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. That's our third Rhonda that I've seen for today. Elaine says, freezing a little on the laptop. Marcia, you're doing better with your new medicine. That's good to know. And hey, Carol, good morning. Good morning, Darla. I can't remember who I said hi to now. Okay, last but not least is Stamp-A-Stack. So let me grab that one. Again, got the whole tub here with all those supplies. And this month, too late to sign up for, they made 12 cards. It's always 12. 3 each of 4 designs. That's like a, oh no, yeah, this is a Z fold. There's lots of stuff inside that card. I showed these actually on a Facebook Live, so you've seen these before possibly. But they make 12, and that's Stamp-A-Stack. So for March Stamp-A-Stack, we are using Artfully Layered Bundle. There's some amazing product that goes with Artfully Layered, so you're gonna love them, I think. So it's 12 cards for $30, and that includes $20 in merchandise, so it's a great deal. And then you know, we cut, die cut, punch, etc. You cut your designer paper because it's included with the fee, and it's only $30. So anyone can take these in the US. You can sign up today. You can sign up until the deadlines. The deadline for Sampler and Stamp-A-Stack is March 13, the week before. So any questions, let me know. Also, you should join my email newsletter, which there'll be a link to in this video on Facebook and YouTube, and that will get you those links emailed directly to you. Okay, next up, Daffodil Daydream. Oops, I left a card out. That wouldn't be good for that tub. Daffodil Daydream card class with games. We're going to make 4 gorgeous projects using the Daffodil Daydream stamp set, or bundle, I should say. Don't forget, we cut, die cut, punch whatever we can. So we're going to die cut thanks for you. You know, we're going to cut all your cardstock pieces. You'll just cut your designer paper and your specialties. This is the class that I walk along with you and we stamp together. Not everybody stays for that portion, but they can. It's your option. And we stamp together. You can say, well, hey, wait a minute. How did you color that? What did you do first? Etc. And you can visit with other stampers. This is all on Zoom, so anyone in the US can take it. Your packet gets mailed a week before, or basically the week of the class, but knock on wood, please. Nobody's not received it so far. And so we make the 4 projects. You get a little goodie bag with it. And then, of course, you get to play games for door prizes. Hundreds of dollars in door prizes. And we use bingo to win those. So you'll get your bingo cards mailed and all that stuff. So let me go back to this upcoming events real quick. Some of the details about the Daffodil Daydream card class with games. Sign up by February 27. The event is Thursday, March 10th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. You're going to use the, like I said, Daffodil Daydream bundle to complete your projects with a PDF tutorial, but then we'll also have the Zoom that you can participate in as well. So, any questions? Let me know. There will be a link for that in the email that goes out today at 3 o'clock. It's posted in my VIP Facebook group, which anyone can join. Links in the videos. And, or you can just contact me for that link to join any of these events. Okay, March Retreat in a Box. I have been showing y'all sneak peeks of this repeatedly, but let me show you again. The March Retreat is full in person, but you can take it to go, and you will make, I believe, 12 projects using the Flowering Fields suite. That's 2, hey Kelly, that's 2 bundles and a whole suite of products, of course. Now these are our optional classes. So you're going to make boxes, cards, sampler, scrapbook pages. It's going to be awesome. Plus you're going to get $50 in merchandise. Plus you're going to get gifts plus a bag. It's a great deal. You really can't beat our Retreat in a Box. And then within the Retreat in a Box, there's optional classes you can take. You can take my Hello Ladybug class, where you're going to make some adorable gift boxes as well as 6 cards using Hello Ladybug. And you're going to get a ton of merchandise with this class. Well worth the value. And you can take only this class, or only Retreat, or only this class, or mix and match any way you want when you register. This is a Stamp-A-Stack that April designed. 12 cards, 4 designs, gorgeous, using Honeybee Home bundle. So you want to sign up for that. Let me come back up here. Not ready to show you that stuff yet. You want to sign up for that by March 13th. And then your kit will be mailed by approximately, or ready for pickup, you don't have to pay shipping if you don't want, approximately April 1st. Stella, their retreats are the best. Highly recommend. If you can't attend, get the box. Thank you, Stella. And Cindy, thanks for sharing. Hey, Debbie. Mary is the stamp camp this Saturday at 10 Central. Mary, watch for info coming out on that today. I don't have it memorized. Hey, Kelly. Good to see you. Marcia says Stamp-A-Stack, well worth it. Thank you, Marcia. Okay, awesome. So any questions, let me know. Of course, we do have some in-person retreats coming up that do have space. They are in May and August. May 12th through 15th, August 11th through 14th at Rockin' Our Retreats in Temple, Texas. And they will be offered to go as well. So any questions on that, let me know. The ultimate retreat is the Stamping Cruise. January 2023. I know that's like a year away, but you get a year to pay it off if you register now. And space is limited, so you want to sign up for that now if you can. It's on Allure of the Seas out of Galveston, Texas. It's the last week of January. And we're going to Roatan, Honduras, Costa Maya, Mexico, and Cozumel, Mexico. And it's going to be amazing. So, and you can use our group rate, which is cheaper than any Royal Caribbean. One of my friends told me she called our travel agent. She got all the info so she can register when she's ready. And she was like, I was shocked. Royal Caribbean is having a 30% off sale, but your group rate is cheaper than that. And I said, yes, our group rate is always cheaper than that. It just is, because they do, like the cruise lines give great deals for groups. So you can use our group rate even if you don't want to do the crafting portion, or if you have a friend who wants to go on a cruise for a cheaper price, let them know about our group rate. That is totally fine. They do not have to craft. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Okay, March's Paper Pumpkin. You're going to get a free stamp set, a bonus stamp set, if you join Paper Pumpkin in March, whether you purchase it for 1 month only, which you can do on my website, $23.50, I believe. But if you buy it now, it's only $22. The price is going up like $1.50 March 1st. So go to my website now and get your prepaid. Or you can subscribe by clicking the link to subscribe in this video description. And then you can cancel anytime, but you'll get that $23.50 a month subscription every month until you cancel. It's plus tax only. You actually save money if you subscribe versus pre-purchase, purchasing it single, because you don't pay shipping. Hopefully I'm making sense. Okay, so the theme, as you can see here, is the I'm blanking out on the real name. The New Horizons suite in our mini catalog. That is the sort of theme that this set matches, this kit. So the kit comes in a box. It's for anybody, even if they're not crafty, because it has everything you need inside. Your stamp set, which you're going to get 2 this month. One's a gift, and one is the one for the kit. You get embellishments, whatever you need for that kit. You get instructions. This is, I still don't have last month's kit because my credit card got changed and I didn't update it in time. It's coming though. It has shipped. You get an ink pad, and then you get all the supplies. So that kit, the New Horizons one, is going to make 9 cards, 3 designs, 3 of each, 9 normal size greeting cards. Of course, you get envelopes when you have cards. They're usually, oh, thought you could see the inside there. They're usually decorated and all that stuff. So sign up for that or register or pre-purchase by March 10th. That is the deadline. March 10th, or you won't get it. You won't get that one, I should say. Okay. Any questions, let me know. Celebration. So Celebration is this big sale Stampin' Up has twice a year now. This one ends February 28th. You get a free gift with every purchase. Of course, minimum amount. You get free extra host gifts if you qualify, and you can get extra gifts when you join. This all ends February 28th, which also is when not that one, what am I calling this? It's a free event you can earn during Celebration. Anyway, that's when that ends. So this is I call it Celebration. Anyone in the U.S. can earn. It's offered in person and to go. The in person is April 9th. To go, it is mailed to you, and you complete your projects. You get your gift and all that by mail, and it's PDF tutorial. At least 4 projects, a gift from me, games with a chance to win prizes. And there will be, I'll probably do a drawing for those who do not attend in person, but you can have a chance to win prizes if you take it to go. So you still have until February 28th. We have 4 days left to earn this. And it is how you can earn it. Spend $150 or more with me. That's through orders placed. I've been, lots of people have earned it. Thank you very much and congratulations. But you need to register if you earned it. That's not your registration to attend. That's telling me, hey, Jennifer, I earned it. Count me in. And of course, I'll verify that. But you need to register. The link is in the emails. The link is in the VIP group. You need to click the link and register. So if you spent $150, trying to, your love, well, your love. I'm trying to understand what you're saying, Betty. If you need to still place orders to bump you up, you can do that by February 28th. Also, you can host a party of 150 or more, so collect orders from your friends, get me to do a quick Facebook party for you, collect your orders, you get the host benefits, they get the fun, or if you took these 5 qualifying classes total. I'm trying to read it on my screen, but the closed caption is covering it up, so let me see if I have it typed here. Sampler for January and February. By the way, this is all for January, February. New catalog kickoff, paper share, get ready for spring stamp camp. So, any questions, let me know. And of course, if you do have questions, most likely I'll need to answer them outside of this Facebook live. And Betty said, just waking up, happy to catch live, and coffee is hot. Thank you, Betty. I'm glad you're here. It's 7:23 a.m. in Oregon. Woo! No wonder you're just waking up. I get it. And thanks for sharing. Okay, so next up, I'm going to point the camera down. So I've talked about this Celebrate Today magnet board, I think twice now. This is my 3rd time. I hope it's still available. I assume it is. If anyone has seen it, not tell me so I can stop talking about it. This is while supplies last, until they can replenish their supplies. But it's a kit that's on our website. And I've talked about it, but I actually opened mine, so I was like, I really need to show this because it's super cool. So, of course, these are instructions. It comes with all these little clips that have magnets on them, so we'll look at those in a minute. It comes with these little 2 file folders that you assemble with the tear and tape that it comes with. They're super easy to assemble. They come flat. You fold on the score marks. You put this adhesive at the back of each side here, and you put it together. Super simple little file folder. And then, of course, you can clip these to your magnet board, which I'll show you in a second. Tear and tape. And it has, but I'm like, you don't have to use this for the magnet board at all. You can use this as a 12 by 12 frame, put one of your samplers in it, and use all this other stuff however you want. So it comes with all these 3 by 4 cards. Of course, they're kind of blank, so you can use it as the calendar design, but you could use this in your scrapbooking. It fits our Memories and More card packs. You can use it for card making, journaling on regular scrapbook pages, etc. It's super cute. So I just wanted to show everybody, you get 2 of each of these 3 by 4 cards, how awesome this kit is. Again, journaling boxes, journaling lines, or your calendar. I don't have the colors like official, but I'm thinking we have Flirty Flamingo, Gray Granite, Mint Macaron. These are what these look like to me. So I just wanted everybody to see how awesome it is. It's $25. You get all this stuff and 2 12 by 12 pieces of paper. Let's see. All the cards are 3 by 4. There's flowers, there's, again, dates, numbers, etc. Okay, so you get all those cards. I didn't count them. Which can also slip in your little pockets here and all that stuff. Then you get these stickers. Now, they do come in different languages. So basically, if you're English speaking, you get 3 sheets of stickers. So we have the one, happiness is in the journey, grateful, love this life, celebrate today, you've got this, dream, today is a new day, heart this, today I'm creating, remember this, and then all these, create this week, make time for, important, to buy, notes to do, to buy, currently, love, to do, to buy, notes, remember, important, on the menu, on my mind this week. Obviously they're kind of calendar related, but again, scrapbooking, my scrapbookers. Then there's all these cute image stickers, butterflies, flowers, leaves, arrows, borders, hearts in those colors I mentioned. And then another sheet of stickers. We've got some labels, circles, smaller, but more flowers and leaves and stuff, another arrow. And then these little, I guess you would call these arrow and banner stickers, because those are arrows, but this one's a banner. You see what I mean down there. Now, these are the other languages. You may speak these languages. There's 3 of them. So these may work for you, or you may be someone who likes to incorporate other languages in your projects. So, hey, it's a great value. Then last but not least, there's two 12 by 12 sheets. Again, you can cut these up for card making. You can use them in scrapbooking, or they fit into the frame. And then there's this one, and then black and white on the back. This is just the cardboard that was in it, which I'm keeping for now to keep all my stuff from getting damaged. And then I left this here so I would remember to tell you that on the magnet board, which is also a dry erase, there is a piece of plastic to remove. So remove that plastic. Now I can throw mine away now that I've shown you. And then it just comes out on the back by pulling these little metal things back. So it's not, honestly, with your hand, it's not crazy easy. Probably better to get a screwdriver. Anyway, and it's kind of tight, so you really want to pull them back as far as you can to be able to slip that 12 by 12 in and put this thing back in there. But hey, so you can put something inside the frame like a sampler, your 12 by 12 paper that came with it, or your choice of 12 by 12, etc. So, oh, and let me show you, the magnets do work really well. And I actually had my designer paper in here, but I decided to take it off to show you the paper you need to remove. But the magnets stick really well even through the designer paper. So, super cute. 25 bucks. It's in my online store. You'll be halfway to getting a free celebration item. So, there we go. And along with that, the Love Santa kit is still, or became available, as well as the elf one. And so I don't know if those have sold back out yet, but those are Christmas kits that we sold out of during the holidays. So if you loved them, you can grab them now and then save them for the holidays. So they were really great kits. They finally got them back in stock. Y'all know how it is with all these, what's the word? Supply chain issues. Okay, number 3. Actually, I'm supposed to talk about the new product. Just to remind you, there is this Here Together bundle, which is available now. This is while supplies last. So the Here Together stamp set and the dies that are called Here For You. And these are both in my online store. Anyone can purchase them now. And then is the kit limited? Betty, the kit is limited. So they say they're bringing back all the kits in. They're only in our online store. It will not be in the catalog. The kit program is online only. Anyone can order it. You can order it through yourself as a demonstrator. You can order it on my online store, and I can order it for you. But it's not printed. It's in the online store only. But all of the kits like that, like the Santa one, the elf one, and all of them, that we had a birthday one recently that sold out immediately. They are while supplies last, and then they replenish the supply, but that timing, they don't tell us a timeline. So it could be a month, it could be a week, it could be 6 months. We don't know, because it all depends on the suppliers. So hopefully that answered your question. You're welcome, Betty. So for now, it's quote a permanent item for now, but it could run out of stock and have to wait for it to come back. Okay, so I told you about Here Together. You can purchase that now in my online store, as well as the All Together 6x6 designer paper. All 3 of these are while supplies last. This is that 6x6 black and white gorgeous paper. Some of the images have the hands and some are just patterns. It's $11.50, of course, and it's while supplies last. But these are what I'm using on my scrapbook pages this month. So even if we run out, I'll still use them. So buy it now if you're taking scrapbook and you want it. And then, oh, of course, the blends. It's the same update as last week. Basically, the 2 lighter ones are temporarily not available. And then the other 3 sets, so I think it's these 2, are temporarily unavailable. They're coming back. This is a permanent product that's going into our new catalog. And then the 3 darker sets are low inventory. So if you want those, get them now. Lots of people have been ordering them through me, and they still haven't run out. but they probably are going to run out. They're coming back. Don't stress. It's a new product in our annual catalog, which demonstrators get to see next month in March online. But you can order them now, the ones that are available. $9 for a set of 2. And then, of course, the Waves of the Ocean product. This starts March 1st for customers. Demonstrators, of course, can order it now. That's how I have it. And if you join and get our starter kit, you can pick these in your starter kit if you want, because they're pre-order. So Waves of Inspiration stamp set, gorgeous, gorgeous. The coordinating dies, which you can get the bundle, the Waves dies. These are going to be in our new catalog, new product. Everything else is while supplies last, which is the Rhinestone Basic Wave Jewels. Love them. The Waves of the Ocean 12x12 designer paper, super gorgeous. And of course, I love the, let me get the name right, Blue Foils foil paper, which has silver, and then these other 2 gorgeous blues. Okay, so all of that starts March 1st. Yay! But starts now for demonstrators. Okay, now Celebration. So I already mentioned this multiple times, but Celebration is ending February 28th. Sad, sad. These products do not come back. Stampin' Up! Doesn't bring them back. So your last chance to get these free with purchase is in 4 days, February 28th. So free with a $50 purchase. Island Vibes stamp set. Love it. If I remember, I'm going to show y'all all my Celebration samples at the end that I have here. Catching Butterflies free with a $50 purchase, ends same day. Awesome Otters, super cute little otters, ends February 28th, free with 50. Also free with 50 is these 3 designer papers. Simply Marvelous. I'm using this one today, so all of the designs are exactly the same. We just have blues in the marble, gray, cabana, purples, and I'm saying that purples and grays and whatever because there's a couple of different ones they use within these. Yellows, so pretty, and then pinks. The colors they list: Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, Blushing Bride, Bumblebee, Coastal Cabana, Flirty Flamingo, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Misty Moonlight, Pool Party, Smoky Slate, and so Saffron. See what I mean? They list 3 or 4 yellows, but there's just this one design, etc. Anyway, I'm going to use this today on my projects on 2 of them, so love that. Free with 50. It's a full pack, 48 sheets, while till February 28th. And then, of course, this Sunshine and Rainbows, gorgeous rainbow themed, but also just fun pattern themed designer paper that ends as well. That's 6x6, free with 50. And the other free with 50, besides the one I'm using today, is the Daffodil Daydream designer paper. Same one I showed on my Daffodil video where we did the Stamp-A-Stack cards. Love this paper. You can't really go wrong with any of the Celebration papers this year, in my opinion. And then free with 50 is Driving By, which I'm actually using today to make my projects. And then free with 100, we have 2 products. I'm using Special Moments today on a couple of my cards for greetings. So it's a great large greeting stamp set. I think I have that backwards. And I don't know. Doesn't matter. And you can get it free with a $100 purchase. Yay. And then the other free with 100 is the Friendly Hello bundle. So you get the stamp set and the designer paper, 12x12, 12 sheets, full pack like usual, free with a $100 purchase. Okay. Calming Camellia is the host set that you can get free if you place a $300 order or have a $300 party. As a reminder, demonstrators get all these perks too. So if I place a $300 order myself, even if it's for a class, it doesn't matter. I get this set for free. We're not restricted from participating in those promotions. So that, I think that's pretty cool. And of course, if you want the best deal from Celebration, you can join my team. And lots of people have joined. Thank you guys very much. I'm very excited. We have lots of new team members. Lots have joined my team personally, as well as my team's team, if that makes sense. So our team is growing during this special, but there's no obligation. It's a no-lose deal. You pay $99 plus tax only, free shipping. You pick $125 in merchandise from these two catalogs plus the pre-order stuff. Anything you want. You can get the die cut machine. It's $120. You can get the mini die cut machine. It's $60. But you can get bundles, collections, anything you want for the $125, unless it's of course temporarily not available. And just don't go over $125. Stay at or under. And then in addition, what the special is you get 2 free stamp sets of your choice from these catalogs. You can't pick Host, of course, and you can't pick Celebration, but the ones we can buy, you can pick those. You can even pick the Waves of the Ocean, this one, Waves of Inspiration, as one of your free sets. It'll show that on the screen. You could get Daffodil Daydream, like Cindy just talked about, the stamp set, free. You can get this one free, Here Together. Any stamp sets we sell, you can get free with our starter kit purchase. So, why not? There's no obligation if you do it. You don't have to sell, you don't have to buy. You can get a discount. You can take part in my team creativity challenges, swaps, gatherings. There's a Stampin' Up event coming up virtually in April that you can still join in on and get the annual catalog mailed to you first, plus a stamp set for $35. And that's optional. You don't have to do that. It's the best deal. And you're all invited to join my team. I'm not excluding anybody. Okay. I think I talked about all those specials. Don't forget, if you take advantage of the purchasing specials with Celebration, you're also going to get an offer from me, a free class kit to make 4 cards using In the Moment stamp set. I showed these 4 cards last week. You can get the kit, the cut up packet to stamp these at home yourself, free with a $25 online order using the host code right there. Boop, boop, boop. So enter that at checkout. Let me show you how. Right here. So when you click the little cart, which is the little shopping bag with the heart on it, that will take you to this screen, and it says checkout in bright pink, and then above that, add host code. You click that and add the host code, and then make sure you see my name after you add it. If you spend $150, don't add the host code. I'll still give you my stuff, and Stampin' Up will give you $15 minimum in free merchandise, plus all the Celebration choices. That's a great deal. But anyway, so 25 or more gets the class packet. Use the host code. 50 or more gets a class packet, plus, I'm going to make sure I say the right one. Oh, I forgot which one it is. It's the ribbon. I know. It's this, a free full roll of organdy ribbon, the petal pink. So, class packet, organdy ribbon, plus your Celebration choice, $50 or more using the host code. Okay. Now, for stamping today, I'm using lots of stamps to accent the cards we're making, but our main focus is Driving By. This ends February 28th, not extended. That's it. That's when you can get it by. And so I'm going to make 3 cards for y'all. And you can win these cards by commenting on this video on Facebook or YouTube. Also, if you share the video, that gets you another entry, but you have to comment that you share because the platforms don't tell me who shared. And then I don't know if there's an and then. Anyway, okay, so for this first card, we have these pieces here. I'm going to tell you all about them. Our card base is an 8.5 by 11-inch paper cut in half. So anyone can do card making. If you stumbled upon this video, you can do this too. I'm not crafty. I had to learn all of this when I joined 20 years ago. I didn't have a clue what size to cut paper to make a card or any of that. I had to relearn fractions, by the way. Anyway, so just cut it in half, and that will fit into our normal medium envelopes, which are invitation size envelopes. Okay, so then you fold that in half. You can cut it in half either direction, by the way. You can just fold it in half, and it makes that card size. I use the bone folder to get a crisp fold on the inside of my card. I leave my paper on the table and rest it against my thumbnail, I should say, and then but do all my folding with the bone folder. If you use your finger, it's going to be more wrinkled on the inside. And then there is a step above when you use our paper trimmer to score it instead of using this. I don't do that. Okay, this will be actually a landscape card, but I'm going to set that aside and make the front of the card next. And let me catch up here because oh, live video interrupted. There it goes. Pat says she loves driving by. Kelly loves, ooh, special moments. You got yours. Awesome. Marcia loves the DSP. Ooh, Susan got her blends yesterday. That's awesome. Oh, high of 74 in Georgia. Kelly bought the magnet board the day it was released. Me too, Kelly. Hey, Julie. Yeah, Betty. That birthday one may come back, but it's just the time. Like, we don't know how long. Thank you, Mary Ann. Oh, that was very nice of you to say. Hey, Julie. See you later on replay. Thanks for sharing. Hey, Pam. Thanks for sharing. And Kelly. Marcia says I am crafty. But I learned over 20 years, like copying and all that. Yay, Mary. I'm glad I'm doing this one. Hey, Chris. Good morning. Okay, so actually, I'm going to bring this back in so I can show you. For the card, I have a piece of real red cardstock. Of course, all Stampin' Up's colors match and coordinate. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, so it'll mat right on the front of that card base. And I've already stamped it, but I'll explain that when I get to it. And then I have a piece of designer paper. So I'm using the race car on this one, and I'm not like a car person, nor a race car person. But I was like, black and white checks, that seems like a race car to me. So we're using this little convertible car that's like an old-fashioned, somebody tell me what kind of car it could be. But it's a little like one door? What do they call those? 2-door, I guess, convertible with birthday balloons or balloons coming out the back of the back seat. Okay, so this designer paper, though, the black and white gingham, and the other side is a crushed curry, I believe, floral pattern. This is from the pattern Party designer paper. This is a huge pack of designer paper, 12 by 12. And by huge, I mean you get, I think it's double. It's at least 24 sheets of 12 by 12. And it has the back side of every design is black and white. So it has all these black and white patterns, and then the other side is some kind of colorful pattern. Whether it's like, this is like a misty moonlight, there's a, with flowers, granny apple green with flowers, flirty flamingo and white stripes, sort of blushing bride and light or dark blushing bride cheetah. Like, there is a ton of different patterns in this paper. Hearts, little scallops, like, and then on the black and white, there's stripes, there's leaves, there's dots. It's a great variety. These stripes actually are kind of like some in the rainbow paper, so if you didn't get that, you can use these. But there's only one way to get this paper, and that is free with $150 or more party or order. So if you do go to my online store and place that $150 order, don't use the host code. Then after you've ordered 150 or more, they will allow you to redeem your host rewards. And Pattern Party is a host only gift. So 150 equals host. Then you can select this as a host gift only. But the host gifts that are in the back of both catalogs they cost less than their value. So this one is $18 of your host rewards, but it's a $30 value. So it's a great deal. It is 48 sheets, 4 each of 12 double-sided designs. And then they list all of these colors here. So $18. So basically, if you place a $150 order as a demonstrator or a customer, you can choose it and you pay the $3 difference. So that's where I got that paper from. And it is 2.5 by 5 1/4. And the truth is, I had a scrap in that bag, and so I grabbed it out and I just trimmed it down a little bit shorter. It was, I think, 2 3/4, and that was too tall. So 2.5 by 5 1/4. And then I have these tags that I have pre-die cut. Where is it? Right here. With the tailor-made tags dies. So these are in our annual catalog or just in the online store. You get 10 dies, and it makes all of these tags. I used the second from the largest for this project, and it is the one that has a more squared off shape instead of the fancy shape. This can be a masculine or feminine card. But you get 8 tag dies plus these 2 dies that cut multiple reinforcers, which I've never used because I don't really like messing with tiny stuff if I don't have to. So I just use the tags. But these tags I'm starting to use more and more in my projects lately. And they're stitched tags, so when you die cut it out, puts the stitch marks along the edges. So cute. So I die cut 1 in basic white and 2 in real red. And then, I don't think I need that anymore. So I'm just going to kind of do this card in a weird order, in my opinion. But what I'm going to do next is my stamping. So for the car, I'm going to use Memento black ink on this white tag, so I can color it in with our alcohol markers. So Memento is water-based. The alcohol markers are alcohol-based. I'm going to ink this up really well. You can press hard on Memento. And just stamp the car kind of down, or basically in the center of the tag. Anyway, you want to use a water-based ink, and the stamp says red rubber, by the way, to color with alcohol-based markers so that the two don't actually blend together and smear and move that black ink. Okay, and now I'm going to clean this stamp. Grab my little chamois. It's like $8. You'll love it. Rinse it in the sink, squeeze it out till the water runs clear, and then keep using it. It's going to look all stained like this. These cases are sold on the same page. You get 4 for $6 to $8. 4 cases. You can decorate it if you want. Someone at my class recently said she would have to decorate the case because she can't stand looking at how stained it is. So I thought that was funny. Anyway, I needed to clean that because I'm going to stamp it again on this tag, and I'm going to do both tags the same, but I have pre-done one with heat embossing. This is the red tag, I should say. Oh, I did that the wrong direction. I did. Good thing I made 2 tags. Okay. I messed up. My tag should be, the hole should be on the right side for the way I designed this card. You could switch it, but you'd have to switch all of it. So I'm going to restamp my black card going the correct direction. I had some kind of feeling that I was going to mess something up, and that's why I cut 2 white tags. I guess I knew. Okay, anyway, I'm going to heat emboss this car in on the real red tag, so on each one, both of them, with clear embossing powder. So this is the technique that new stampers are like, they think it's magic, so you should show your friends how to heat emboss because they'll think you are magic. I'm going to use the Versamark ink pad, which is a watermark pad, meaning you can stamp on any color paper and the color it turns will be a little darker than the paper, but it's also very sticky, so it stays wet. I'm going to just tap gently on this one. It stays wet long enough for this powder to stick to it. Oh, I forgot a step. Darn it. I'm not doing well today. Doesn't matter. Or hopefully it won't matter. I was supposed to remove the static from that first, but it's too late now. I'll tell you about it in a second. So I have my clear powder poured into this old Stampin' Up case, which we don't sell anymore, but you can use a Tupperware container. I scooped the paper under the powder, and then I'm going to turn it over and kind of thump off. I also brought an old paintbrush over here to just remove any excess powder. And I see a spot right there where no powder seemed to stick. I don't know if y'all can see that, so I'm going to reapply. Oh my gosh. The brush just fell off of this old super cheap paintbrush. So I got that spot, and now I'm going to get that excess powder again. So the reason you want to remove the static from your paper first is less of it usually will stick around. But I did okay. And this is clear powder. It just looks white right now because we haven't heated it. But the way I remove the static, just for future reference, is with a dryer sheet, an unused dryer sheet. And I just rub it all over my project, then I heat emboss. Okay, the clear powder comes with our basics embossing powder, which comes with clear, white, and black powder. It comes in these little jars. And you can totally use it from the jars, by the way. Just use scratch paper underneath, pour it on top, and then use the scratch paper to funnel the excess back into your little jar. Okay, now we're going to heat it. You have to use the heat tool. A blow dryer does not get hot enough. You want it on number 2, which is the high heat setting for heat embossing. And I'm actually going to use my clothespin because I didn't when I did my others for pre-doing, and I almost burned myself. The clothespin just keeps your hand away from this high heat. And then it's going to heat up. Once the heat tool heats up, it heats really fast, so don't worry. It just takes a minute to heat up, not even a minute, and then the actual process goes so fast. And you don't want to overheat it, so just make sure you keep moving once you see it change. Which on this one is very easy to see the change because it goes from white to shiny. But if you overheat it, it becomes dull and not shiny and ugly, basically. I'm going to touch this spot right here because it's not shiny. Yep. So right there on the front of the car, it wasn't shiny, and I just heated it a little bit more and it got shiny. So now I'm going to check this section because it also seems not shiny. The windshield. Okay, so every time I heat emboss, I actually find a light source right near me and reflect it and make sure everywhere is shiny. If not, you can heat it again real quick. It's when you just sit there pointing the heat gun and you overheat it that is bad. Okay, so you want to do that on both tags, so you have the 2. And the reason I heat emboss these, besides the fact that it looks cool, is the, to me, red on red does not show very well, even with Versamark or red ink. So this gives it lets it show a little better. Can't tell if it's showing good on the video. As well as then now we have a fancier card because it's all shiny. Okay, so we're going to color this car in with our Stampin' Blends. Let me see y'all's comments here. Beverly 22222 was good. I worked. I did a Zoom with the team. Yeah, it was awesome, but a work day for me. Okay, so Corvette Coupe. Is that how you say it? Coupe. Robin and Kelly say, look at y'all knowing. Let's face it, Pat loves it all. You're funny, Pat. Della's late. We'll watch replay later. No problem. And meet Ada or old MG. MG is what I was thinking of, even though I don't know cars very well. My table is so dirty. I'm trying to see y'all's older model Chevrolet Corvette. That's what Landa said. And Betty says, stampers love every stitch die. That is so true. Hey, Cindy. Good morning. Thanks for sharing. Hey, Jeanne. Hey, Dorothy. Okay, awesome. So caught up there. And okay, so we're going to call this a Corvette because that was I think, got the most votes. For my coloring, I'm grabbing these readers. I'm using Real Red blends, light and dark. So I'm just going to trace this little stripe down the middle of the car with the dark. I'm going to trace the door, the outline of it, and the door handle with the dark, the thin line. And then I'm going to use the thin point as well instead of the brush tip, the bullet point, to color the whole thing real red. So when you do this, you do go over the dark portion to blend, hence the name, to blend out those dark lines and make them more subtle. With blends, of course, you can get super, way more artistic than me. You can also go back and lighten and add more color and add darker and add more shadows. You can get extremely artistic and creative. You can mix any colors you want together. They won't bleed together because they're alcohol. So it's really an awesome product, but I usually just do a very simplified version just because of my skills. Then the yellow Daffodil Delight, light and dark. This is for my balloons. So I'm going to put the dark right there where the balloon line, the little highlight thing line is in the balloon, whatever. Where Stampin' Up! Drew a line. And then color the whole thing in light. And just keep going over your dark part if it's not blending out. By the way, you can do light and then go dark. You can do whatever you want. If you never played with them before, just practice first on scrap paper to see which technique you like best. I don't think this goes with this one. Granny Apple Green. Oh, it's supposed to be slate. Let me find it. I have other cards over here. I mean, I have other blends over here for another card. Okay, so now I have light and dark slate. I'm going to use the dark one. No, I'm going to use the light one first for the bumper and fender, I guess. And then the middle of the wheel. I guess the hubcap. Don't expect me to use correct names here. And then my tire is going to be dark smoky slate. And I am leaving this little middle section white in all three vehicles today. Although I kind of messed that up. Whether I'm supposed to or not. I don't know if that's white walls or not. I don't know, but I'm leaving it white. Okay, so pretty quick and easy coloring. Don't forget it bleeds through the other side. That's normal. And even with my, lesser skills, you can still see some shadowing and stuff there. So pretty cool. Okay, now I already showed how to heat emboss, so I do not need to show that again. But I heat embossed Happy Birthday with the black embossing powder, which comes with the basics. I did use the dryer sheet though, but I did the exact same thing I showed you already with Happy Birthday. This is from Special Moments, right there, free with a $100 purchase, but there's Happy Birthday. is I wanted this to be a birthday card. And this one's slightly crooked, but the one I pre-made is straight, so that'll be the one you can win. I didn't want to redo it. It's fine also. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't think anybody's going to judge that if I give them this card. So after I heat embossed, I was putting the card together like this. It's a landscape, putting my designer paper below the greeting. It's on real red, you know, all that. And I was like, this red looks too plain. So I decided to emboss it. And it's subtle. It shows just a little, but I liked it. So I grabbed these stripes and splatters embossing folders. You get both in one pack. It's in our mini catalog right now. I hope they carry over because I love them. But these are the 3 1/4, I think, inch wide folders. Yep. 3 1/4. They fit into our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and the regular machine. Although you cannot use what I'm doing in the mini because the paper is wider. The paper needs to be 3 1/4 or less. But I'm using the stripe one because I thought it was kind of like racing stripes, right? I guess. I mean, stripes. I don't know. So I want this design, this embossing design, to basically go right below the greeting, which it just randomly is a perfect fit if I just basically align the paper at the bottom of the folder. So I've got it in there. Now let me grab my die cut machine to emboss it. So when you get, everything's falling, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it comes with everything you need to emboss and die cut, everything we carry. Mine is actually set up for die cutting right now, so I'm going to remove number 2 and remove these 2 number 3 plates. I'm only going to use number 1. And then it comes with a number 4, which is gray. Also, if you have the old stuff, it's the blue plate. If you don't have any of this newer stuff, you use a clear one with a shim on top, a couple of pieces of paper. This just needs to be a little thicker for these thick embossing folders. Okay, so my paper's in there where I want it. I'm always going to put the folded end of the folder where it goes into my machine first. So since I have this on my right, I'm going to put it folded in on this side. But if I had it on my left, I would flip it around. Doesn't matter. You can feed it in from either side. Number 4 goes right on top. You want to basically align the platform with all of your plates evenly and then just crank it through so it can go either direction. And that is it. So we got some stripes on there. They're barely going to show, but it was worth it for me. Okay. Remember if I have to die cut anything later or not. But if not, and you're new and you want to know how to die cut, I show that on previous videos, so I can refer you to one, how we did this. It's super simple with that machine. Okay, so let's put this together. I'm going to use my black and white gingham, which I'm almost out of here, but I think I have another roll. But anyway, and I'm going to stack all 3 of these tags together with the white one in front and then the 2 red ones, and just tie them together one time. Like tie, in other words. Well, maybe I did make a knot. Okay, I'm going to tie it and then tie it again so it won't come undone. I'm looking down at my sample. But basically it's a knot, it's not a bow. And then I will trim the excess. Of course, I did this from my roll of ribbon so that there's no waste on this one end. And my ribbon's kind of frayed, so let me trim that frayed end there. Okay, so all my tags are tied together. Don't worry, I'm going to fan them out. Then I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. I've got a piece of trash in my hand. I'm like, where's the trash can? Stampin' Seal, my favorite adhesive, to put this together. So let me attach my designer paper to the real red. By the way, later today on my blog, which is stamptherapist.com. Oh, I forgot to put that on here. I'm using a different computer for this live, and so it should say stamptherapist.com across the top. I need to add that. Anyway, on my blog, stamptherapist.com, I will be posting pictures of these as well as the measurements and a supply list. Okay, so I attached that designer paper below the greeting, kind of in the middle of the in the center of the striped embossed portion. And now this can go on my card base. You want to use the lightest pressure possible when you're applying Stampin' Seal to an embossed piece of cardstock. So I'm basically not pressing at all. Try to like imagine air pressing that down. And then this goes in the front of my card, in the center, of course. And then all I'm going to do for these tags is fan one of the red ones to the top and one to the bottom, any amount you want. Then I'll just kind of flip it upside down and pull the pieces up and add a little adhesive. I just need to hold it in place a little bit. Just like that, so they're fanned out. So you see a little of the balloons on top and a little of the car on the bottom. And then I'll just add Stampin' Dimensionals to that entire piece. I've got my minis, my favorite. I'm gonna put probably 4 on here. So it's like a triangle, and then I'll put one right where the cardstock pieces overlap there. That was 4. For me, this is enough. You can put more if you want. And then this just goes kind of in the middle of the, oh no, you need to move it up if you don't want anything to hang over the edges of your card or they won't fit in the envelope. So it's to the left a little and sort of centered there. Anyway, that's it on the designer paper. That is the card. So, I hope you like it. Is my video freezing now? Let's blame it on the freezing weather. I see it freezing up here. Darn it. Hey Christine, good morning. Thank you, Nancy. She said always looking for masculine ideas. Creatively angled. Happy birthday. Yes. Yes. Well, maybe it's, yeah, my original is a little lower, which just means that I didn't put as much of the tag out, but nobody knows, like it's fine. Now for the prize, if you win, I'll give you this card that has a straighter happy birthday. Again, it doesn't bother me at all. I've learned people appreciate your cards anyway, so it's fine. Okay, next up, let's go to our next card. I got lots of tools and stuff for this one. We are using our basic, the next 2 cards are purple, by the way. The first one was red. These are now purple. Basic white card base, 5.5, 8.5. Next layer is Gorgeous Grape. 4 by 5 1/4, 4 inches, 5 1/4. Then I have the Marbelous paper. I'm using it on both the next 2 cards, I should say, in purple. So it's the sort of Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, Marbelous paper. I'm using the side that looks more like marble versus more like paint, that purple paint that had white swirled into it. Both card sides are great, but I like the marble side better. This card is going to go up and down portrait. Then I have a 2-inch by 5-inch piece of basic white cardstock. Then 2 inches by 5 inches of this awesome Vellum Layering Designs. So it's vellum cardstock that comes in 12 by 12 with patterns printed on it in black and white. So this is a map design, so you get it with the black print, which is what I'm using, and the same exact design with the white print. I think I showed this paper last week. And then there's 2 other designs in this set. There's one that looks kind of like newsprint or a book. or a dictionary. Again, one in black, one in white. Here's the white one, for example. And then this other print that's like little squares of script. Of course, the newsprint one is printed. Of cursive, you know, script writing that are in squares that are all like pieced together and going different directions just to make a nice background. Again, you get this in black and white in the whole set. So this is some paper I'll be using in my Stamp Stack this month, by the way, and I also used it in the bingo class. So you should do bingo. Notice? Okay. So that's where that paper came from. It's in the mini catalog right now, which means it may or may not still be available after June. What else do I have here? I have a white stitched rectangle that I've pre-die cut. I'll show you those dies in a second. I have a scrap of glimmer paper here, so I'll show you where that came from in a second, as well as a scrap, I'm trying to pick it up, of our adhesive sheets. So I'm going to use those together. And then last but not least, I have a 1/2 inch strip of basic white for my greeting, and it is 1/2 by 2.5. The rectangle is about 3 1/8 by 1 3/4. The rectangle is from Stitched Rectangle Framelits. I mean dies. I need to mark that out because we don't call them framelits anymore. Mine are so old. We still sell them, we just don't call them that. Anyway, stitched rectangle dies, and you get like 13 rectangles in there. So I believe on the right hand side, this is the third from the smallest. Yep, which I die cut that from. I am going to die cut for y'all today. It's this little purple piece. So you'll see how I die cut everything in that one demonstration. Okay, so where to start on this card? This is going to be the little van. The little, Betty, I don't know if you signed up for bingo. It's March. It's in March, but I'll make myself a note to check. I honestly don't know who signed up for bingo yet. Betty, bingo, question mark. I'll check. Okay, anyway, the little Volkswagen van, I think that's what we would call this. Is there another name for those? Please feel free to let me know. And then my card is going to say, I think you're wonderful. I thought that went along with that little van kind of well. And that's from Special Moments. Where is it? I think you're wonderful, right there. But I'm trying to think what I need to do first. I guess I'll do my stamping first and then the die cutting. Okay, now I did forget a piece, but luckily I have my Marbelous paper right here. I need a scrap, which I used on my original card, the scrap that came off when I cut off this 3 3/4 by 5 piece. So I need a scrap of the purple Marbelous. And then I'm going to stamp on the rectangle and the greeting piece, the 1/2 inch strip, and that one. Okay, so Memento Black. I'm just using Memento in this case because it's my favorite black ink if I don't have to watercolor. But we're not using blends on this one. Actually, we are allied, just on the wheels though. So I'm just going to stamp this van right in the center of my basic, oh, let me remember what I did here, hold on. In my basic white rectangle that I die cut. I'm going to grab my scratch paper. So this stamp, have y'all ever mounted a stamp, especially these red rubber ones? You put it together and then when you stamp it, it's a little bit crooked. Raise your hand. VW bus. Yes, bus. I knew there was a word, Nancy. Anyway, that was this stamp for me. So what I ended up doing was I always use my grid paper when I have this situation, which we sell grid paper in our annual catalog in case you didn't know. I like to use the clear block, and I'm trying to see this while I'm on video. I basically make the clear block parallel even with the lines on the grid paper. You can look at the top, the side, it doesn't matter, and stamp, and then I see, is my stamp straight? Now it is straight. See how the wheels are basically aligned down there. I mean, it might be a fraction off. I don't mind that. It was way off before. So it was way off. So what I did to mount it on here the proper way is I aligned it straight with the grid lines, pretend it is, and I stamped it, and I can't even remember now, but I think the wheels were way higher in the front. They were either higher or lower. So I kept peeling it off of here and adjusting it a little and retesting it until I got it perfect. It took about 4 or 5 times. And now, until I unmount this and want to use it again, it's mounted so that if I look at the clear block instead of the image, it'll be straight. Of course, we also have the Stamparatus, which you can use. It's the same idea. You still have to figure out how to make it straight, and then you can use the Stamparatus over and over until you're ready to remove it to put a different stamp on there. I hope that made sense. So now I'm using this clear block to stamp this right basically in the center. But again, I'm not looking at the image, which to me looks like the wheels are going up. I'm looking at my clear block. Pretty good. Then this one doesn't matter if it's straight because I'm going to hand cut it out. I'm just going to stamp this bus again on the designer paper. And then my greeting will be Gorgeous Grape. And it's just on that little 1/2 inch strip. This is photopolymer, so if you don't have a super nice firm flat table like I do, I would recommend our Stampin' Pierce mat. I'm trying to grab mine underneath your project when you're stamping to get that good, smooth, even, well inked up image. Okay. Yeah, I did forget I am coloring, but it's just the wheels because they're going to show. So first, I'm going to grab my readers and hand cut out. Actually, let's leave this over here because we know we're going to die cut in a second. Hand cut out this bus. By the way, there's no dies or punches for this set. So I'm just cutting out the top portion, basically everything but the wheels. And I want to move my paper, not my scissors. So I'm using my left hand to turn the paper. Scissors basically stay stationary, and I try not to open the scissors very often. See how I'm just cutting and cutting and cutting until I have to open them. Those two things give you smoother cuts. If you're constantly, you can see that in your cutting. So I could have pre-done this, but I didn't have time. So we get to sit here and watch me cut. Look at my sample. Oh, I did cut off the, look again. Yeah. Okay. No lights, so I'm cutting off the lights, and no fenders, bumpers, whatever. So those all get cut off. It's basically the part that would be painted other than the windows, which I did not take an X-Acto and cut the windows out. But it's the parts that would be, have your paint color on them. Although, did I cut it wrong? I did. See if I can fix it. No. I'm telling y'all, today's the day. Where did I put that scrap? Right there. Today's the day of the mistakes. So I cut off this, and I wasn't supposed to, the little part that goes over the wheel. I should have pre-done it. Should have taken that time. Okay. Get your stuff together and cut it properly. But basically the parts that like I said already, that would be like the silver and the tires and all are getting cut off, and everything else stays. Which actually you can go straight across there. Trying to think of stuff to say because it's all quiet. So I'm cutting. Gave all the cutting tips already. I did it again. We may just have to pretend that it looks right. Maybe I can tape it together from the back. Hold on. Just for the video. We don't have time to mess with me being in a rush here. And then you'll get the better card if you win. Perfect. No problem. Nobody will ever know. Or maybe I did it right. I don't even know now. I'm confusing myself. I think I did it right. Ha ha. Light gets cut off. We're almost done. Don't worry. I think you're going to like this card, hopefully, when it's done. It's very groovy. I will say there are so many cute samples out there with this whole set, especially on Pinterest. But this van, this bus, VW bus, like hippie looking ones, and there we go. What's the word? Beach. Lots of beach ones. Super cute. Okay, so that's going to fit back over this one. No coloring. Simple. Okay, so from this little scrap, what this paper is the, which I never use, Ombre Specialty Paper is what it's called. But it's glitter paper, and it's grape, mango, navy, and poppy. And it is ombre, so I've used the darker portion of the heather here. It gets lighter at the top. But all those colors I mentioned, you get poppy, navy, mango, much more mango at the other end. Is it just 4? And grape, not heather, grape. So you get all those in 12 by 12 glitter paper. Of course, our awesome glitter paper that doesn't flake off. So I took a little scrap strip here of the dark purple section. And I'm going to die cut some little hearts, sorry. So, this is the, which I just found out this morning, the Sweet Hearts dies are temporarily not orderable, but these are the dies I used, and there's so many different hearts in here. There's basically the same exact image I'm using now, but twice as long, but I just needed the short one. There's hearts going the other direction, and then there's all these other hearts. It's a great set of dies, even if you don't own the stamp set that it's bundled with. It's great. So they are coming back. I wrote a sticky note, approximately March 7th. So I want this little set of 3, and you'll see what it does after I die cut it out. I just trimmed my nails yesterday. This is our adhesive sheets. They come in 6 by 12 sheets. And you can cut them down to whatever size you need, and then you peel the protective coating off. So this is the protective coating, that's my trash. And then you stick this to the back of whatever you want sticky. So I'm gonna die cut this now, and I'll be able to peel and stick, but you could also just use it on a project that you want the whole thing to be sticky. But I'm just going to die cut out these little hearts, and it gives you 2 images. Really, it gives you 4 images because it gives you all the center hearts plus the outline image. So it's really cool. We use this a lot with our Valentine sampler and another class we did. Landa got real familiar with cutting that one up. So I'm just going to die cut that real quick. So I have number 1 and number 2, because that's for die cutting, and then my 2 clear plates, the one I cut on, which is all cut up and not pretty. Just make sure my paper is centered on there, and then a clean one for the top. I never cut on this one. Many reasons you want that clean one on top. Plus it helps keep them straight. My plates do not bend. I mean, you know. But in general, I mean, my plates don't bend. And I use them, as you might be able to see, a lot. Okay. I don't know if Landa wants to chime in and say if her plates bend. She uses hers even more than me. But when you have that clean one for the top and a different one for the bottom, they're not going to bend. Okay, so there's my pieces. I'm not going to use this scrap, the outline. There's the die again. So I shouldn't have closed this before I put it back. Just close that up super quick. Okay, so, and now all of those are sticky on the back, by the way. So let me fold my card base in half. See if you guys are still with me. Fussy cutting makes you nervous, Cindy? I was only nervous because I was on TV and I kept messing up. I don't love fussy cutting, but I'll do it when I have to. All I'm going to do for coloring on this one is the wheels and like fender stuff. So exactly what I did on the car, but on the bus. So I have my light slate for this little tailpipe and fender, I guess we'll call it. And then the bumper, I don't know if these are the right terms. And then the middle of the wheels again, the hubcaps. And then dark for the wheels. So quick and easy. Of course you can color, I showed last week, watercoloring. Just use Stays On ink instead. Colored pencils, watercolor pencils, chalks. You can color with lots of different things. There's not just one way to color your images in. This is called paper piecing, where you basically piece the pieces back together, so to say. I didn't color the lights, but I'm sure I could have, but I didn't on any of these. Okay, now I'll put my nicely hand cut out body of the car on with Stampin' Dimensionals. Let me do like 4, I think. And then, hold on, I might have trimmed my nails too short. That just goes, of course, right on top of the stamped image. And then I was really wishing I could have cut out the windows, but of course for me, no. So I just used Wink of Stella on them to give them a little glass look. I'm sure you could also like stamp it again on another image and hand cut that out for curtains or whatever. Lots of things you could do, but I just added Wink of Stella, so I don't know if you can see it on the video. I will be posting, I think I'm posting a picture on my blog that kind of shows it a little better, how it's shiny. But this is just a clear glitter brush that we carry called Wink of Stella that will add glitter to anything you do. Although I tried to add it on something recently and it smeared the ink, so you do have to be careful when you're using water-based ink. Okay, I am going to make a bow for this card at the end, but other than that, I'm ready to put this together. So I have my card base and my Marbelous paper, free with a $50 purchase. No limit, spend $100, choose 2, or pick a $100 item like this, etc. Only till February 28th. But my Marbelous paper goes on my gorgeous grape, and then that's gonna go ahead and go on my card base. Notice I'm not using too much adhesive. With Stampin' Seal, you don't need very much. Then I have the white to go under the map vellum piece, just so that will show really well. I just decided, because the pattern kind of hides the adhesive, to just use adhesive across the top and bottom on this vellum. Usually I try to hide the adhesive on vellum, but it doesn't really show, especially don't touch it with your fingertip and put a fingerprint on there. And then this piece, the white and the vellum attached together, goes over here toward the left side, but not all the way to the left. So some of your marble paper still shows on the left. Then basically my bus is going to go down here toward the bottom left-ish and the greeting toward the top right. So I attach the bus piece, which is on this rectangle, flat. So that I could put the greeting on dimensionals, and it gives me the interest in the card, the differences instead of everything being raised up. So I'll use 3 mini dimensionals on the greeting. And you guys will have to judge if you think the bow is too much, but I really wanted to add the bow. So the greeting top, more toward the top and toward the right. Next, I'm going to add these hearts. So you do have to, oh, that one came off easy, but you do have to get that adhesive started when you use your adhesive sheets, the protective coating, and peel it off. So the 3 that are connected, you know, as part of the die cut, there's 3 outline hearts connected. Those are going to go across the bottom here, right below the wheel. So it's half on the white, half on the card front. And then my other 3 hearts, I could use dimensionals, but I was like, let's take advantage of the fact that there's adhesive on the back of these and just put them flat. And they are the exhaust coming out of the bus. So hopefully you think that's cute. I liked it. And it would have been better to do a small heart and then graduate sizes, but honestly, I didn't want to do all that die cutting. There are smaller hearts in that die set, I think, and we have so many different heart dies I could have used, but I didn't want to do all that die cutting. So there we go, the little hearts. Now my bow, I needed it to be really small because the card already has a lot going on. So I'm going to use the fork and do a fork bow. If you look on Pinterest later today, I've created a pin that shows a written instruction for, which is the Stamp Therapist on Pinterest, by the way. Written instruction, sort of with photos and stuff on how to do a fork bow. And I've shown this on other videos before. So anyway, but what you do is you wrap your ribbon all the way around a fork. I'm using it, I guess I'm wrapping it around the left side while the fork is facing me. And then you just hold it with your left hand right at the edge. You don't want to cover up the middle of the fork because then you can't do the work. Okay, so fork facing me. Then it's wrapped around, right? So there's a piece in the back that is angled. This is like a V. Well, the back part of the V goes down and the front part that's in front of the fork goes up. I am leaving this attached to the roll, but if you were going to trim this, the front one would be a little shorter to not waste. The back one is a little longer because it's the one you are working with, pulling it around and all that. So this one would be a little shorter, but if you leave it on the roll, you'll have 0 waste. So then this back piece that's lower, you take your right hand, and again, don't be twisting and turning your ribbon. Keep it straight, but it goes up through, it comes up around to the front and goes through the center of the 2 center tines. And then don't let go of it. That same piece is going to go in from the back, below everything, through the center tine. Or the center of the 2 center tines. And then you grab a hold of that and you pull. Then you need to bring this loose piece that's still attached to my ribbon here back to the front, and you pull both of those. I've never let go of my left side, by the way. Don't let go. And now that I've done all the pulling through, I can lower this down to the bottom of the fork so that it doesn't accidentally slide off, which happens half the time. And now I can set it down. If I was sitting, I would put this on my lap and hold the fork between my 2 knees. And now I can tie a knot. But it does matter. This is not a real bow. You're tying a knot. You can't untie it easily. So it matters where these tails go. So I'm going to slowly tie this knot and direct them the way I want them, which is down. But if you want them one up, one down, or going the other way, which would be up, you can do that. Then when you pull it off of the fork, that's the back of the bow. Flip it around to see the gorgeous front. That's how you make a fork bow. Super easy. You can use any size fork. So you can start going to the dollar stores and finding all the different forks and servings and blah, blah, blah. To be able to make different size bows with those. And then I'm just going to trim, of course, my ribbon. It was not angled well at all, so let me fix that side a little bit better. Okay, so now we have our little bow. So thank you, Stella. I love a fork bow. I hardly ever do them, but every time I make them, I'm like, man, this really does make a literal perfect bow. I don't know why I don't do it more often. Forgetfulness, I think, is the main reason. So story time. I was trying to decide what to use for Facebook Live this week. I've been stressing out over it for days, like since last week. Just a mini glued out there on my bow. And then I'm going to put that at the corner of the greeting here. Left corner, bottom left corner. Here's the final card. My bow did lay better on my first one, so that'll be my prize anyway, because I did a lot of mistakes on this other card. But there it is. Nice little purple band, Marbelous paper. Love it. So cute. And I know we have a lot of purple lovers out there. So I was like, what do I do? Blah, blah, blah. Then, as a side note, in addition, my daughter's birthday is coming up next week. And I need a birthday card for her. And I had already mentioned, I think, to a couple of people, I was going to say Landa, but honestly, I can't even remember, that I need to use our driving bicep because of the Volkswagen Bug, because that's what she drives. She's turning 21, by the way. So then I was like, well, I haven't shown this on Facebook Live. I could kill two birds with one stone and make Isabel's birthday card and create a Facebook Live project. So that's what I did. So here we go. We have our basic white card base, then our 4 by 5 1/4 Simply Marvelous, again with the purple designer paper. Her favorite colors are purple, green, and orange. Then I have a label I die cut out of Gorgeous Grape. Then I have basic white and Granny Apple Green, which I'll give you all these measurements in a second. Okay, let me look over here and see what else I need. Just stamps, I think. Besides ink. Okay, so let me fold my card base in half. Also check out these comments. Cindy says she'll have to try that bow, and cute card. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Jackie. Robin adores the bow. I know, those bows are so cute, right? Y'all are talking about wink. Ooh, try the bleaching techniques for the windows. Elaine, I mean, it could be worth a try for sure. You could just test it on some scraps, like we all have scraps, plus I have this messed up one. And that's where you just take, in case anyone doesn't know, a little paintbrush and some bleach and put it on your paper and let it change the color of your paper. I also thought, I guess I could do vellum, like you could stamp, I'm getting off topic, but stamp it on vellum and then cut it out and glue it back on, although then your adhesive might show. And I thought about window sheets, but I didn't know how. Anyway, so, but yeah, cool idea with the bleach. As long as I flip the top plate back and forth, they don't bend or bow. That's right, Landa. And Robin said, yay, wink, wink of Stella. I love it. Jean, orange is your daughter's favorite color. My daughter has always loved orange, but also that's her school color as well. currently. Takes you back to the 60s. Most of you guys weren't born yet. I feel like I was born in the 60s, Pat. Does that count? Yes, Betty. March. Lots of birthdays in March. April's mine. My daughter's. Yes, definitely. Okay, so card base. It's going to be this one will be landscape. We'll put that aside. Put our designer paper aside. Let me give you what I used here real quick. So we have my favorite scalloped contour dies from the annual catalog. It comes with all of these rectangle scalloped dies. Some of them are stitched. They all have different designs. The one I used, well, it's not really stitched, it's like pierced. But anyway, I used the second from the largest for this one. So it's got little pierced. It's got a large scallop, which I love the large scallop more than the skinny little scallops we have on our other rectangles. Anyway, but this particular one has the little stitches. So it's second from the largest. And then the paper that I'm going to layer on top of it, sorry, let me put these dies back, is basic white. Need to measure it. It's a weird measurement. 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. And that's actually the size if you want it to go right inside this image. But then I actually changed the design, and so I added a piece behind it of Granny Apple Green with just a very skinny border. So the Granny Apple Green is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. And you'll see how it works out on the card. Okay, so for our stamping, Memento Black, I'm going to do some more blending here. My little, oh, by the way, this Volkswagen, okay, because we have our vision impaired demonstrators as well. It's all of these are outline images that you color in. So it's an outline, kind of the older model of a Volkswagen. And then it has 4 presents on the roof that are tied with a bow on top of it. Outline images, very fine lines, which I'm going to color them in so you'll see that. But that's what this image is. And so the car is driving toward the left. The other race car was driving toward the right. So anyway, I'm stamping it on the bottom left of this rectangle in landscape mode. And I will color that in, but let me go ahead and stamp everything else. So for, probably just to support the team, my daughter loves this stamp set called Create with Friends, which I'm laughing because I'm being silly. But this is the stamp set I got to create when I sold $1 million in career-to-date sales with Stampin' Up. So our new catalog comes out in May, and demonstrators get to find out in March what is retiring. So I don't know if it's going to retire. They don't tell us. But if this set's going to retire, buy it now. Buy it. Please make it popular. They won't change their mind. But anyway, this is an awesome stamp set, though, for real, that you can combine all these different words with other words to make all different kinds of phrases. So mine's going to say celebrate you. By the way, she never watches my lives, but hopefully she won't watch this one randomly. I'm trying to read. I can case this card for Madeline's birthday. Yay, she'll be 20. And doesn't watch Facebook. Yes, exactly. Awesome, Pat. What is chalks. I know. We don't actually, do we sell chalks? We do sell chalks. I don't, I've never used them. I have them unopened, basically. Anyway, side note. Okay, so Create with Friends. I was trying to promote that. It's awesome. And so I'm gonna stamp. Let me get my ink. I need Granny Apple Green and Gorgeous Grape. So Gorgeous Grape will be for the word celebrate, which is the large one, cursive. I got to choose the font basically out of the current catalog at the time. I was like, these are the fonts I like, and then they came back with this one, and I was like, yes, that looks good. So I did tap very gently on that gorgeous grape pad, but multiple times all around to get a good inking. Celebrate is in the top left, and then in Granny Apple Green, I'm going to stamp the word U. So what I'm going to do is ink up the word U, and it's going to go basically under the R and the A in Celebrate, but then I'm going to stamp it again and again and again, so like 3 more times without re-inking it, going back and forth below the U, so it'll fade out and get lighter and lighter, and it's all different directions. I can echo. And then this actually was decided after I colored everything and everything was done. I actually modified this card a lot after I had glued it together. I was like, wait a minute. Anyway, so at the very last, I decided it needed some splatter. So of course I got on mystampinstuff.com. Great website run by me and my husband. And I searched splatter, and this was one of the images that came up, Painted Poppies. And so I was like, yeah, I'll grab that one. Now, I was going to grab Daffodil Daydream. Then I remembered it's packed up in my Stamp-A-Stack this month. And then I was like, oh, well, Hello Friend, whatever it's called. The Celebration one has a splatter. Oh, that's packed up in Card Class this month. Let me find something that's not packed up. So, and this one I think turned out better because it's more of a paint splatter. So I'm going to grab scratch paper and ink, ink, ink. So this is a pretty strong image, so I'm going to stamp it off on my scratch paper and then just stamp it up here in the top left corner, and then a couple more times without re-inking. How cool. So it's very that artistic splattery paint look, but to me you wouldn't necessarily associate that with Painted Poppies stamp set, so don't forget that's in there. It looks great with Painted Poppies, but alone it's more grunge. It's more of a grunge look. Okay, I think I'm done ink with ink pads. Now I'm just going to color with my Stampin' Blends. I just need to grab these gray ones, of course, because we have wheels again. So Isabel's bug is actually orange, which I believe this was purchased before she got in her school and decided where she wanted to go. Okay, so I colored with my dark pumpkin pie. Remember, this is her other favorite color. This bottom part of the vehicle. I don't know what it's called. The part that goes below the doors and around the tires. Color with my dark pumpkin pie. I'm trying to do this really good because I do want to keep my original one for that. So this will be the prize one. Then I just traced again the detail lines that Stampin' Up sort of drew on the car, the door, the handle, and there's like another line across there. Then I went in with my light paper pumpkin and colored everything else. So it's fine to go into the dark when you do this, into the dark ink. And if you do get any streaks and lines, just keep coloring. They will disappear. That's, again, the beauty of Stampin' Blends. The streaks and lines will disappear if you just keep coloring. It might get a little darker because you're building, layers, but still. Oh, I forgot I also made the trunk darker. Do that real quick. Always put your lids back on your blends as quick as you can because they are alcohol based, which is like a Sharpie, so they can dry out. They will dry out. Not they can, they will. Okay, so pumpkin pie vehicle. Then of course the wheels are the same as all the other wheels. Let me color the silver parts of the car. Hubcap and the bumper and fender, and then the wheel, or the two wheels. And then it's just the gifts. So I have Granny Apple Green and Highland Heather. I only used, I believe, light Highland Heather, and I used dark and light on Granny. And those are all for the gifts above the vehicle. So, dark Granny Apple Green. The top gift is like a box with a lid on top, so I'm making the lid dark Granny Apple Green. Then the third box down has diagonal stripes, so I'm going to color them at a diagonal. I'm just tracing them diagonally with the dark. And then I'm going to do light Granny Apple Green all over that one. So it basically just has dark green stripes. And I'm coloring the bottom of the box that's on top with light Granny Apple Green. And then the other thing I did with the light Granny Apple Green is, and I did think this was weird, this middle, or the second gift from the top, has these little, what do you call those? It's like corners drawn on it, like half moon corners. What is weird to me is I'm like, how would you wrap a gift like that? Like, what is that? I don't really know, but maybe I'm just dumb. Anyway, I colored them. They're tiny, light Granny Apple Green. And then I just colored that box Highland Heather. And then the very bottom one, which is has just little black, like single pen dots on it. Or they're black because I stamped in black. It just has little dots on it. I colored it light heather. So it's basically every other gift is green and purple. And that's it. Woohoo! Okay. So I hope y'all like that. Here's a backup one I did in case I messed up actually. But I think they're pretty equal on coloring and stuff. Maybe I kind of like the one I pre-did a little better because the U shows better. U. Maybe I'll use that one just to put this card together. Same difference. Okay, so on this card, I decided to add the rectangle, the purple gorgeous grape rectangle, scalloped rectangle, at an angle. So remember, this card's landscape, so this is going to kind of go up on the left and down on the right. Then I tied ribbon around it. So I used, I don't even think I said what ribbon this was on the bus card. It's the Gorgeous Grape Sheer ribbon from our annual catalog. It's the same one. I forgot to say what ribbon that was. That's what I used on the bus card. And then I'm going to use it again on this card. So I'm going around, all the way around this Marbelous paper. And I'm going to tie a bow on the left front and toward the bottom. This ribbon is toward the bottom. So I'm leaving the ribbon on the roll, of course. And I'm making the plus sign where you're like asking your friend to put their finger there. And then I'm grabbing my reverse tweezers. Find those in my Amazon store. And now my hands are free to tie a full bow or a knot. But I'm going to flip my project upside down and then just tie a regular bow. Just don't twist your ribbon when you do this. When you tie any bow, don't twist your ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and remove that, the tweezers, so I can fix my bow. The ribbon is like going all crazy, different directions. But I'm literally just making the loops even and all that stuff. Okay. Trim the ribbon, no waste on the side that was still attached to the roll. Love that. Trying to see this better. Cut the other side, and there we go. And before I put this together, I want to make sure the bow is where I need it. So the stamped piece is going to go on the Granny Apple Green, and it's going to be at the opposite angle, right there in the center. So I do think I want to scoot this bow over to the left a little bit, which is very easy to do when you've glued nothing down. I had a card, it wasn't this card, but I had a card at class that someone asked, how did you glue the ribbon down when we did this? I was like, I didn't. I never glue the ribbon down when we do this kind of card. So just FYI, I don't glue it down. And then, of course, just see if the ribbon is high or low enough. I think I want it a little higher. You can do all that adjusting. Yeah. And I could have just put a bow here, but to me, that looked weird, but it being tied all the way around did not look weird. So, yes, it's a lot of ribbon, and no, I didn't want to put a straight piece and then glue dot the bow on because you could see the straight part, and sometimes that's okay, and sometimes I don't like it. So I went all the way around on purpose. Okay, so let me finish. I will add the stamped piece to the Granny Apple Green piece. Remember, it's a tiny little border, so you have to watch that when you're doing that. And actually, I did add that entire piece with Stampin' Dimensionals. What time is it? Ooh, late today. I had no clue it was 11 o'clock. Oh my gosh, sorry. I talk too much. But hey, knock on wood, please. We're still on internet, which was what we're testing today with this other computer. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing with my internet and computer issues, but you definitely don't want to hear it. Okay, put this on the card front. And then the last thing I did was like, okay, let me go see what kind of embellishment Stampin' Up! Has. And I was actually looking for purple. I looked through what I owned, of course. I was looking for purple, and I did find purple in our pastel pearls, but I didn't have enough, to be honest. I was short. So then I kept looking, and I was like, oh, orange. We have pumpkin pie rhinestones in our holiday rhinestones. So that is what I ended up using. And I do think they gave this card that finishing touch that it needed. Grab my Pick Your Pick tool. I use the smallest ones. You get large, medium, and then a bunch of small when you buy the holiday rhinestones. Most of our rhinestones are that way. And then I'm just going to put 3 of these down in the sort of left-ish corner of the stamped piece. And that's it. That finishes that card. Yay! Hope y'all like it. Hope Isabel likes it. Thank you, Robin. I did text her this week. I'm like, remind me your favorite colors, which she has changed her colors in the past, so I always have to make sure. Here's the other one I made originally. Pretty close. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, guys. So we have the red one and then the 2 purples. So it's like matching, not matching. But I think this looks better in red, so hopefully that's okay. I do have some samples to share with y'all. You may not have time to stick around, but thanks to everyone who has been here for the whole thing. You're awesome. Look, Lucinda, if she doesn't, I'll take it. Haha. What is the tweezer? So these tweezers, they're called reverse tweezers. Betty, I think, who asked that? I forgot who asked it. And when you squeeze them, they open, and when you let go, they are tight. So they're perfect for tying bows and knots, even on like gift wrapping, like non-Stampin' Up! Related. We do not sell them. Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry anything like this, so I have a link to them in my Amazon store on my blog just to show you where they are quickly. They're on, I get these on Amazon. You can get them lots of places, and you get 2 for like $7 or $8, which of course you need 2 because you're gonna lose one. I have like 8, but that's because of classes. So that's what the tweezers. Oh, it was Jerry, sorry, that asked it that. Lorraine says, I'm good at twisting ribbon. Leanne, I'm glad you like these cards. Oh, Anna, Yeah, that was one of she says she likes how I have my blends labeled. That was one of the first things I did because same. I get so irritated when I have to first turn it to the right side, the correct side, and then read that tiny print. And then by the time I set it down, I forgot which one was which. So this is just, I have the label maker on my Amazon store as well. But yeah, and I used to put the full name, then I'm like, no, just dark, whatever, light, whatever. Like I abbreviate the name. And by the way, I showed these on other Facebook Lives, but I use these cases also, so then I can see the names. And these are on my Amazon store, these cases. They're actually for paper, so they'll hold your 8.5 by 11, but I use them for blends. I have all stacked because I have so many blends because of doing events. So tips there, hopefully, on your blends. But yeah, immediately I was like, no, I can't read that. And the older you get, the worse it is. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on you guys' comments. Thank you guys for all the comments. I love it. I drove a powder blue van bug in high school and long into your 20s. That is awesome, Betty. Yes, Pat, pink bug. Perfect. And you could even maybe use the pink, unless she likes purple too. You know, there's a pink Marbelous paper. So definitely post a picture, Pat, of what you make after, after she's seen it. Yay, Cindy, you bought the cases. Awesome. Okay, so real quick, samples. I have one sample. I don't know why I don't have very many with the Marbelous paper, but this one is really cute where they just use little strips of it. So there's that. And then these are swaps I have received from other demonstrators, different ways, my team and other swaps I've participated in. That's another perk of being a demonstrator. But anyway, using driving by. So they are really cute. Lots of different color schemes here. This one, I love the pastels. They used, actually both of these used the rainbows and Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper that's free. This one's super cute. I don't have names on most of these. Let's see if there's one inside. Nope. Anyway, we have these dies called Picture This. So it cuts these 3 openings. There's also circle ones within the set. Anyway, you can see how that cute Volkswagen and the bug. And of course, when you color the van, I'm sorry. What do we call it? The bus. You can color the windows the right color. Super cute one here. I did not make this, even though it's a Z-fold. Got the brick background. Look, rhinestones in the middle of the wheels. Cute. And then this one, more of the matte paper with the van. Super cute. So there's those. And then I did pull, I know my video is incredibly long today, so I understand if there's only one person left watching. But since Celebration's about to end, I pulled all that I could find of my Celebration samples. So I'm going to go through them real fast. Why am I blanking on the name of this one? It's the Friendly Hello. Friendly Hello designer paper and stamp set. I have a ton from this one. That one's free with a $100 purchase. Comes with the bird and the flowers, all this gorgeous designer paper. Lots of samples with this one. So pretty. By the way, side note, everybody stay warm today. I know we talked about it at the beginning. Stay safe. Don't get out if you don't have to if you live in Texas, because those roads are treacherous. Yep, I glanced up at the TV. It says Winter Storm, Fort Worth. Of course, it's everywhere near us. Look at this one. And I know some of y'all are warm where you live. Talking about the 80s and stuff, but stay warm and safe. And don't forget to comment on the video to be entered to win the 3 cards I just made. These 3. And of course, if you share it, comment that you shared, that gets you entered again. Both of those help me in my business, so I appreciate it. Here's another one with the Picture This dies, but they filled in the windows with designer paper. Anyway, sharing, liking, thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell, follow me on Facebook. Everything helps, so thank you guys very much. Okay, then here's a bunch with the Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper. So the designer paper will be on these cards somewhere, probably mixed in with the rainbow stamps. This card's so cute. That was a team meeting swap. If you're in the team and you swap, you get back one of each swap. It's totally optional though. So if anyone wants to join my team, 4 more days till the special ends, please contact me, or the link will be in the video. It's in the video already, and it'll be on the blog. I mean well, yeah, it's always on my blog, but YouTube, it'll be there. This is that, again, Sunshine and Rainbows. Yeah, they all use the designer paper somewhere on them. So cute, this paper. That was where I did 2 versions, similar card. And then this is the Daffodil Daydream paper, or it's called Daffodil Afternoon designer paper, 12 by 12, free with a $50 purchase. Those are some slimline cards. Of course, we sell some slimline envelopes now. But anyway, that daffodil paper, so the set is not going away, but the paper is. So get it while you can with that free with purchase. And if you get the starter kit, you don't get celebration items, but you can literally order immediately. That's what so many people that have joined this month have been doing. Get the starter kit and then turn around and place their own order with their discount and get all that stuff. I love this one. I got this at the very beginning of celebration. I can't remember if you made this, Pat. Somebody at my team made this one. It was so cute. And then just simple, stamped directly on the designer paper. Okay, then we have the Catching Butterflies. I made this one. Some of these are from my Facebook Live with Catching Butterflies. And some are from an event, and then others are swaps, of course. Super cute. You can even use Catching Butterflies without the girl. You can combine it with other designer papers. That's the daffodil one. You don't even have to color the girl in. And then I think last but not least of what I found in my room is Island Vibes, which is such a cute set. This was one that a lot of people, at least when I did my Facebook Live for it, were like, I hadn't really paid much attention to that one, but it's so cute. And the images are really large. So, like this is the leaf images, that's the one stamp, but you can stamp it twice and get the effect. Anyway, they're really large, even though it only comes with 3 stamps. Of course, create with friends. Combine it with that. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all are awesome. Get a chance to win these 3 cards by commenting on this video on Facebook or YouTube. Get a second chance by sharing and commenting that you shared. And of course, I always appreciate your likes and comments and your orders. Don't forget about the ordering special that I have on top of Stampin' Ups. Any questions, just let me know. You're welcome, Jean. Yay, Jerry. You won't regret those tweezers. We are an awesome team, Pat. That's why I was like, I don't even remember if I said that, but I'm pretty sure you'll post that card you make for, I don't need to mix these up, for your granddaughter on our team group, so we'll all get to see it. Thank you, Sandy. Pink and purple. Perfect, Pat. So you can play with it. See which one you like better. Volkswagen Bug, not a van. Yeah, I think I mixed up my words, but I'm calling this one a van or a bus, and this is the Bug. I don't know what I'm saying. It's weird when you do a video. You say things and then you watch the video later and you're like, why did I call that a blank? And it's the completely wrong word. You probably do it like when you're teaching live classes too. Hey Kelly, I'm glad you got to join as well. All right, I'm going to end for today. I should be back. I think I'll be back next Thursday, but watch for updates because next week is the birthday week. So we'll see how that works out for me. But thank y'all very much. Any questions, let me know. I'm going to see y'all later. Bye.